I'll stand up for it. Here you go. All right, Mike.
Bob, go start off.
And finish too.
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Good, Bob.
I guess, how would you say, going back to summer and fall workouts, now full scale practice, how would you say the new guys are meshing with the returning guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, that we have not unknowns as far as individual players with a lot of the new guys. They're known players in college basketball, but we have a lot of unknowns as far as combinations go. But I think that there's been we've had a great summer. I think the last 10 days, we've just had a lot of unfortunate, small injuries that this next couple weeks is going to, set us back a little bit as far as the way that we've normally prepared over the last 7 years of college. So I'm going to have to scale back some of the stuff that we do in preparation, probably throughout the first 2.5 weeks of October.
Yeah, we saw some of the guys that were doing, I'm just kind of watching what you're doing the very little. Is any of that stuff serious, or do you expect them all back here shortly? Or
I mean, I might as well just say it now because somebody's going to ask. I mean, Jalen's got, an aggravated old ankle injury. We're taking it slow, should be returning soon, probably, not in the next 10 days, but soon after. Trey Wade injured his knee. It's a tendon, out 4 to 6 weeks, but non-surgical. And then KK has, continued to have soreness, working back into activity. The bone that he had surgery on is fine, but he's missed a really good portion of what we've done over the last 12 weeks or whatever.
And then just Tony.
Tony's soreness in the knee. He did it today, and then JD's ankle.
Coach, I'm wondering what stood out about Stanley summer, and has he been the player that you thought he might be when he signed?
Yeah, I mean, I think just because of Stanley, us playing against him, we knew in preparation what a tough cover he was, that he was a multi-level scorer because he can shoot the three, he can put the ball on the bounce in isolations, and he's a really good post-up player. He's got a really good mid-range isolation game off the elbows. He's had a great summer. Todd Lee, who he played for, is a former assistant of mine, who's the head coach at South Dakota. And so he's probably been the one guy that's by far been the best coached coming in. Like, he knew a lot of the habits and a lot of the terminology that we use. So I think he's had a little bit less of an adjustment maybe than some of the other new guys from a practice habit standpoint. But I think he's actually improved even, in his practice habits as well.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about two of your other transfers, Chris Lights and DC Tony, coming over from ACC. What have you seen from them so far this year?
Yeah, I think that, as far as Chris goes, Curtis, I mean, the pace of practice was really new for him. The attention to detail is really new for Chris. I think he's, he's at his best when he's just kind of balling or just playing. We're going to need him to really play within structure. We're going to need him to know the plays at the off guard and the point guard position. And we have a large play package. So that's something that's continuing to evolve for him. He's not there right now. Understanding, the third and fourth option at both those positions. We still have time, obviously, but I do think he's a guy that whether we're at home or on the road, he's going to find some games where we're struggling to score or we're playing a little bit. There's always those games where you're looking for a little bit of extra juice. And he's a type guy that's going to bring momentum swings for us from an offensive standpoint. We need him to defend his position maybe better than he has in the past.
Is the Vanover had any weight or weight and strength this summer?
I mean, they tell me that he's gained a little bit of weight. I mean, but you guys, judge for yourself. I mean, he's hard to, tell because he's so tall. But, early on in the summer, had not gained much weight. I thought towards, after our season was over, he actually kind of lost some weight. And then as we've gotten, since the school year has actually started, we've gotten out of our summer session, I think that he has added a little bit of weight.
As he was for practice.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a difficult job every day because he's chasing around, some guys that are really, really versatile. Because Stanley can play the 3, 4, 5. Kamani's a really, really hard cover. I think that people saw that when Kamani played for Coach Walker, that he's a really great dribble drive guy. And so Connor's guarding non-traditional 5s every day, which I hope will help him laterally. But he's played well throughout the 10-week summer session. And then the last, whatever we've had since school started, 3 weeks.
Scotty?
Coaches, what did you see from JD this summer in terms of work and you expect him to build on the way he finished last year?
I would say that JD's transformed his body better than anybody since I've been at Arkansas. He's done an incredible job. He comes in every single night and shoots, and he lifts weights on his own. I don't know if I've ever been around a player that gets 3 to 4 lifts on his own at night after he's already done a lift session with his teammates. And so I think he's really, really focused to have a great year, and he needs to lead us in a lot of different ways. Obviously, the biggest challenge with Chris and JD is shot selection, and understanding that when those guys are primary ball handlers, that we need them to be set the table players, at least initially in the offense. They're both really, really aggressive offensively. I think Devo's done the best job as a true point guard of trying to get teammates involved. And then it's just, with all 3 of those guys is putting a high premium on taking care of the ball and being low turnover players at that position. That's going to be, the biggest thing that we're going to want out of all 3 of those guys.
Coach, I saw him today a couple of times. He had to get on Chance. Is he just kind of a freshman that still kind of adjusted to the college game? How's that going for him?
Yeah, Chance is a really, really talented player. But this is so foreign to him, how hard we practice. It's completely new. And his motor has got to improve. But in his defense, he is a freshman. And he's the only freshman. Last year we had a group of 4 guys that kind of came in, and so when you have 4 freshmen, you're kind of all swimming in the same lane, so to speak. And now we got 1 guy who's kind of on an island with a bunch of veteran guys or guys that are returning players. So, but yes, for sure, Chance has got to continue to evolve his practice habits.
Bob? Eric, if there's a poll out there, you guys are in it, maybe 15, 10, 8, whatever it might be. I know it's preseason, but how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, obviously with any sport, you always want, your players to be recognized. It really doesn't matter, because last year at this time, we probably had very, very little respect, so to speak, as far as being a team in the top 15 in polls and stuff. And then we came on really strong at the end, and we still got we got to evolve in a lot of different areas. We got a lot of really, really good pieces, but they got to figure out, we have to figure out a way for everybody to mesh. And again, with the guys being in and out of with injuries, and like 3 of our most vocal players are Jalen, Trey Wade, and KK, and they weren't out there today. So our voice energy level is drastically different when those guys are out there. And then 2 of those 3 understand our offense and our concepts, both sides of the basketball, better than anyone. And so when they're not out there, I think that our team dips a little bit. But I think it's awesome for the fans. Obviously, the excitement, the way that season tickets have gone and stuff. I mean, we understand that, things are going to be a lot different, obviously, coming out of a pandemic when you only got 4,000 fans. And even for the few of us that were here in that year 1, I don't know how many true sellouts we had, Kentucky and maybe 1 or 2 others, but we're anticipating the potential to have a sellout potentially anytime we play a home game. And then after the first few games, it's going to depend on how hard we play and keeping the fan interest wanting to come back based on, style of play and winning and all those type of things.
And if you got guys dealing with these nagging injuries, what's the key to making sure you keep having quality practices while you're waiting for those guys to get back?
Yeah, I think that's $1 million question, Bob. That's a great question. It's one that, when I'm done talking with you guys, we'll go back upstairs and we'll talk about that. I think one of the great things of having Gus, who was with us at Nevada when we did have a few injuries, we can look back on that time, and I think certainly with Clay and Coach Smart, because of their NBA background, I think that there is a pace to how you want to do this thing too. I want to go 100 miles an hour every single day, but we are going to have to be really smart how we go through these next 3 weeks, and then from there just kind of see how it goes.
This last year, it was a lack of lateral movement. I think you said collectively on the team, good rebounding team that maybe didn't move laterally. Are there any weaknesses on this team collectively when you look at it? Because it looks like you got smaller, quicker, faster. Are there any places where you have to have a Band-Aid to cover up some stuff? Yeah,
I think that's a good question, Kevin. Obviously, in the first year, it was lack of defensive rebounding. It was lack of size. I thought we took care of that last year, but maybe when you add size, you lack a little bit of mobility. But I think as the season progressed and evolved, I think that we became a really, really great lateral movement team based on how we changed lineups. And I think that, we became a great defensive keep your man in front of you when we moved Justin strictly to the 4 spot, and he played a little bit of 5, and Tate and Devo Davis were a nightmare for opposing guards because of their length and lateral quickness. So I think we eventually got there, Kevin, but certainly last year at this time, that was one of the things that we felt we kept seeing. I think right now it's sharing the basketball, understanding what a great shot is instead of a quick shot, because we do want to play fast, but we also want to play with high basketball IQ. So I would say right now it's taking care of the basketball, limiting our turnovers through this, whatever you want to call it, the summer session, and now the start of training camp. We've turned the ball over too much compared to what maybe we've done in the past. And I would say that, shot selection, we have some guys that can score the ball. I mean, you talk about Stanley's used to scoring the basketball. Chris Likes is used to scoring the basketball. A DC guy that averaged 14 points in the 8 used to scoring the basketball. We know that Devo's got the ability to score. We know that JD loves to score. And so you got all these pieces that you got to try to, get to understand that it's we ball. Like that's one of the things that we talked about pre-practice today is, the term we ball. And, we'll get there. And then obviously, when you have a larger group of players that all think that they're going to be in the rotation, how do you kind of get that rotation to the number that we're comfortable with?
Can you talk about the reception that you got on the recruiting trail to the success of going to the Elite Eight? And also with this NIL, what are some positives and negatives that you had to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go to the second one, Dudley. As far as, name, image, and likeness, I don't really see any negatives. I think that it's well overdue for players to, to be able to earn some money. Obviously, we kind of stay out of it. I think that we're in a unique position here. I think that, we have a fan base that loves the Razorbacks, and we're not competing with anybody else. And I think that's a great thing for our student athletes as well. What was the other question, Dudley?
Success on the recruiting trail from going to the Elite Eight, how that was received.
Yeah, I think, the recruiting stuff, Moses, Devo, KK, and Jay Will, we owe them a lot because they didn't really have anything to go off other than, hey, in year one, we played really, really hard. That's kind of what, they saw and what their parents saw and what their inner circle, but we hadn't really proven anything other than, hey, we garnered respect from referees, we garnered respect from other coaches, and two guys had phenomenal years and were able to play in the NBA, and Isaiah and Mason, which is not an easy thing either to have two guys go and play at that level. But those guys kind of trusted us, and then obviously making the run that we did last year, like I know fans don't, it's really, really hard to make the NCAA tournament. It just doesn't happen. And to make it, and then to be able to have success and to have a team that, understood what was at stake and sacrificed. There's a lot of things that go into winning in the postseason. And then certainly I think that momentum, we're not selling something anymore. It's now a reality. And you want to ride the momentum when you have momentum. And I certainly think that we've done that. And we want to continue to do that as well.
Scotty?
Devo said after the season ended that big point of emphasis for him would be working on three-point shot. You've seen him making some headway there.
Yeah, he works at it every single day, and obviously he's, we never want him to get away from his, his strength, which is dribble driving and slithering, off the bounce and being creative. But certainly we feel like his release is better than it was maybe last year. I think he's got more lift on his shot. I think he's more confident. I think he's squaring up a lot more. He's more shot ready when he doesn't have the ball in his hand. So off the bounce, being able to understand to get 10 toes at the rim on a shot instead of floating to the left or right. I think he certainly improved drastically in that aspect. And then you just hope that, that he has some results that in a game, because obviously you can work all you want in the summer, but you gain confidence once the lights come on. And but we feel like he's more confident, and he's certainly put in the work for sure.
Well, Eric, I guess if this was the first day of training camp, but you're missing some guys, being able to go full speed. How'd you go first day one?
Yeah, it's day one for us, Bob, in the fact that, we're, I don't know how many days out. What is it? 42 days out. So that makes it first day. But, yesterday we were still in our 4 hours. So we had a really good practice. Yesterday was probably our best practice since we've been together. And then naturally, the next day when you have less bodies, you're going to drop off from an intensity standpoint. But even today, I bet if all of us were fortunate to go drop into some other practices, that intensity and level of pace. And if you looked at the monitor that Dave Rich has, and you see the energy that was expended by our guys, it was pretty good practice. We just were, down in numbers, and I think that, my expectations are, pretty high, but I thought we had a solid practice. And like I said, over these next 10 days to 3 weeks, we want to try to get everybody healthy again so that we're ready to play on opening night.
I heard you make a couple football play references out there. I know you're on the sideline. Sam talked about, I've never heard a coach say this, that he felt they'd be more powerful with like you and Dave there. What'd you think of that? And, you ever made football references in practice before, like refer to football?
I make football references, baseball references. I guess I'm a fan of other sports, but yeah, I thought, when I got the call from Coach Pittman, it was, I guess if I just had to say one word, it was just cool, and my wife and I argued a lot, like where I was going to be most of the game, because she had it planned out that we were going to sit with in Jerry Jones's thing, and she kind of set that up, not me. But yeah, it was, for Coach Pittman to include Coach Van Horn and I, it wasn't like they won and then he included us. It was the thought of having us down there, knowing it was as big a game as they played in a long time. Kind of a wow moment that he would, and then before the game, like he was really confident. I can tell you that because he and I chatted and from another coach, just leadership wise, I took notes off a 10-second conversation that he and I had, because he felt like his team was in a really good spot going into the game. Most coaches are nervous about games. He was fearless in a 10-second conversation.
Anything else, Coach?
It's great to see all you guys again instead of Zoom. Huh? Oh, thanks.
They got a belly to drop that, right?
Headphone.
Did Hunter send you that shirt or?
Hunter hasn't seen this shirt. It literally is still hot off the press. Riley got it off the printer.
Okay, right.
And so Hunter's gonna see it
Okay.
if you help me get it out there.
You remember when you wanted me to switch to San Diego? Good thing I didn't.
Is that 13 in a row?
16.
16. It's pretty brutal what's happening to my Padres.
Said that Jeff Long, you know, printed it up.
That go on the Zoom?
The other day, whenever before practice, I tried getting in the car. So I was trying to
Okay.
and all the doors were locked. I said, "Oh, Jeff Long never found the door. He didn't find a lock."
Do we know who's coming
As
next?
opposed
Is it
to-
Devo or-
I thought it was everything else, but
You can't hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh, which one?
I'm sure.
No, I don't know which one we're. Victoria's out to Victoria. So we do the one.
She was trying to round it up.
Okay. I don't, do you have socks over your shoes or they just like?
no, I have socks and I have shoes on. With socks. You know,
But it looks like the shoes are like red.
they're just very white.
Okay. I couldn't make that work because they get all dirty. I've got light colored shoes, but not white.
At age 56, I decided.
It's like wearing a white shirt and you barbecue with your socks on.
Five. About 4 minutes. I'll send out right now.
Better reach and talk to us.
Yep.
I don't want to rip me.
You got
the whole mic. Hey, you guys have obviously had workouts together in the summer and the fall, and now training camp start. How would you say that recruiting guys like yourself are meshed with all the new guys?
I think it's going really well. Of course, it's a new system for all the new guys, and they have to adapt. But so far, it's going well, and I think it's going to continue to get better.
Just how different for you. I mean, you're like this time last year, you're a rookie that wins a dunk contest. Now you're getting out the point guard of this team and the leader.
Right.
More.
It's going well for me individually, but I haven't been focused on that. I'm just trying to get everyone on the same page right now. Individual goals come after that. I think we should be able to mesh together and win games, and that's all I'm focused on right now.
Devo, coach said that he doesn't want you to get away from what made you last year, but I'm curious about how the 3-point shot is developing for you, and then maybe moving off the bounce, moving right.
Yeah, for sure. That's was the key for from last year, improving that, and I think I've got really well. Been shooting really well in practice. Of course, it's translating into 5-on-5, and we haven't been doing that so far, but it's getting really, really good, and I think I'm gonna continue to work on it and go step by step on the 3-ball for sure. Thank you.
Kevin, Devo, you were a primary handler coming up, and then last year you really had to learn how to play off the ball, maybe a different role. Being back on the ball a lot, you're gonna have to be in that role again. Talk about what you're seeing at this level as far as how defenses deal with you. When you get in the open court, you still high stepping like you did in high school. Be on that ball.
Yeah, I'm still comfortable with the ball. Of course, learning and knowing how to play off the ball is something that I have to do on the next level. So just being able to do both, I think it helps my game and hurts the defense because they're not knowing what I'm able to do on and off the ball.
Was in Little Rock last weekend. You were on the radio about as much as Reggie Rain was. Just talk a little bit about the NIL and how, that's been a positive for you guys.
Yeah, I think a few guys, of course, it's taking a big toll on them. I think it's helping us off the court, marketing our brand, ourselves, of course, and then of course the team. We've already been out there from last year. We had an Elite Eight run, so I think just being able to market ourselves and then help out other different companies, maybe in our city or around the country or even the state, is helping us as individuals and also the Arkansas program.
Coach, Devo, last year y'all had a bunch of new pieces. This year, a bunch of new pieces again. Is it a little bit easier this year when you get kind of a normal summer? Last year everything's going on with COVID and stuff. Can you tell the difference this year that's coming into practice?
Yeah, for sure. You start off with Coach Les. The energy is rise, and then you got the guys around him. You think about it, all the guys I think except Ronnie, has been with Coach Les in the past or now, so it's kind of real now. You see it, and I like that actually. It helps us as a team, and I feel like we're getting better for sure each and every day.
Devo, last year you guys went on a great run. The second part of the season got ranked, but when Isaiah decided to stay in the draft, all the rankings, went away.
Yeah.
Now you guys are you're going to be in everybody's poll, maybe top 10,
For sure.
15, whatever. How do you feel about the expectations going into the season, the playoffs you guys did last year?
Last year was amazing, and I think we can do that again and go even further. But right now, we have to act like we have that chip on our shoulder and continue to work harder than anyone else in the country, and just continue to be able to execute down the stretch and do all the small things to help us win games. And that's the biggest key right now, for sure.
And Coach Musselman, he was telling us that you guys have some guys out right now, or guys who can't do much in practice. What's the key to you guys who are on the court, making sure you have quality practices, so you guys are in a good place when other guys do get back?
Just continue to work hard. I think if everyone sees the people that's on the court working hard, then once they come back and things like that, they'll continue and bring even more energy. And I think that'll help us out as a whole team. And we continue to do that, then we get together and be able to build off of that.
First, one of the new guys to the team, Chris likes, probably someone that you spent some time defending the last couple months. What dynamic does he bring to the team? What stands out about him?
Chris likes, he's small, but he's quick, fast, explosive. And I've never played someone like him. He's someone unique. You got someone like him. He can jump, he can shoot the ball, he can dribble, he play defense full court, 94 feet. He's amazing. He's learning the system. Of course, coming from Miami is totally different. So just learning slowly, but he's picking it up for sure. And I think he's helping me as an individual and helping the team as well.
Devo, kind of a two-parter. What's kind of stood out to you about Stanley, just what he brings to the floor? The coach said that JD is over in practice facility 3 or 4 times a day, in addition to what you guys do, just the work you saw from him this summer.
Stanley. I guess a lot of people was like comparing him to Justin Smith, but he's not actually. I mean, he has some unique abilities like Justin, but no, he can actually score in many different ways, and I think that's something that a lot of people in the SEC will figure that out. And if he continues to do that, he's going to be on his way to the next level for sure. And JD, he's been working hard, like at like 12 a.m. It's crazy. And I be doing that, but then I see him, he in the weight room. I'm just in the gym. So I'm like, I don't know how your body not hurt, but no, he's going to continue to do that. And I can see it's helping him for sure. Him being able to create space on his shots and get him to the paint and creating for others as well. It's helping him out. I can see it for sure. You can see it in his body. I can tell you that. And y'all can figure it out. But
Great.
Yeah, Devo, last year there were some games early in the season where you weren't playing very much, and you would come out after the game to work, get the work in, and you had a great attitude. But during that time, was it frustrating to you, or were you patient through the whole process?
No, I had the right people in my circle for sure. Being able to, of course, make my way into the rotation, it came from hard work, and I'm gonna continue to do that no matter if I'm playing or if I'm not playing. I as myself, I've been doubted all the time, and it's crazy that a lot of people might not know that, but for sure it's something that I hold myself accountable, and I know for sure I'm gonna work hard regardless who's on my side, who's in my circle, thinks what about me.
Well, I saw the video, I guess one of Eric's heightened videos where you're like in the
Yeah.
the boxing bag, or
Yeah.
the heavy bag, and you got a picture of Eric on it, and Eric's coming in. You don't want to know if you're mad or hey, is everything okay? Did you come up with that, or did he come to you and say, did you have any misgivings about punching, a picture of your coaches, a photo of your coaches?
Oh, man. It was some of the tradition that we're doing right now. We got some more cooking up for y'all too, but now you like it, right?
Oh, yes.
So we're gonna continue to do them. But now, I wasn't mad for real. But I mean, I would never punch Mus anyway. He's a little small guy. I wouldn't do that to him.
I knew it was a joke. I just wondered if you had the information.
No, I'm not gonna bully Coach Mus. I ain't gonna do it like that.
Anything else to do? All right.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Well, that was really funny.
All right, thank you. So many cakes they had to do.
Yeah.
I just went over the.
I don't know if it's success.
What's up?
First off, hey Stanley, how you doing? I wonder if you could just tell us about, your transition here to Fayetteville and just your impressions of the area and the program so far.
Yeah, no, it's been a real smooth transition so far. I mean, I love the area. It's a lot closer to home from where I was at. So it's I love Fayetteville. The people here are real welcoming and everything. And basketball wise, everything's going great. So I'd say it's a good transition.
Yeah, Stanley last year, really, I guess throughout Eric's college coach career, especially the last couple of years, been a lot of turnover with grad transfers coming in for 1 year, but it's been very successful. How do you think you guys are meshing? And you were here all summer, right?
Yeah, I was here since May.
Yes. How do you think you guys have meshed throughout the new guys and the returning guys? How have you meshed throughout the summer, fall, now into fall camp?
We're doing a great job of that, actually, off the court and on the court. Everyone gets along. We all we did a lot of team bonding activities over the summer, which was real nice to just learn more about each other and just keep improving that way, because we're just going to be as good as close as we are. We're going to be better that way. So we've been doing a good job of meshing and building chemistry.
Last year they couldn't really do much team bonding stuff because of COVID. Can you give us some examples? Like, did you guys not go bowling together? What sort of stuff?
Yeah, no, we didn't do bowling. I'm not a big fan of bowling, but we did some laser tag. We went to rock climbing. We did some kickboxing classes and some boxing classes, all types of stuff like that, just different type of workouts.
Yeah. One of the leading returning scorers in Division I, and I'm sure Arkansas coaches broke down film and saw the ways that you score the ball. They got some packages for you because of your ability to score from the mid post and pretty much all of them have a court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we're gonna have some sets, to take advantage of mismatches. Coaches try to play me around the 4-3, 4, or maybe even some 5 if I need to. So it's just gonna be about the matchups and wherever I could get on the floor. He knows I like to post up on the left block. So we have a couple sets to attack mismatches that way.
Scott?
Stanley, just wondering if you could just assess your work this summer and what did you want to improve and just feel like you did that?
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten way better this summer. The coaches definitely, fulfilled their promise of making sure they put people around me to, make sure I'm getting better every day. And, we got GAs on call, and we got, gym access whenever we need it. So I've just been really working on my, ball handling and shooting, trying to get better that way. Catch and shoot, especially, playing on a team now with more threats around me. I'm gonna be able to, take more catch and shoot jump shots. So I got to be ready to knock those down. And I've been doing a good job of, preparing myself that way. So I've been feeling like I had one of my best summers as a basketball player.
Is the versatility that this team, this kind of offensive structure for them, is that the big reason why you came here as far as, what you can do and how it fits?
Yeah, for sure. Watching them in March, it was clear that I would be a perfect fit here, just the spacing and the pace of play and just the, take advantage of mismatches, things like that. I knew that it was going to be a great fit. And, so far it's been exactly what I expected as far as the style of play.
Stanley, you've been around the college game a while. What do you find unique about Devo that maybe, a lot of other guys, some qualities that not a lot of other guys will possess?
Yeah, no, he's extremely unique, like crazy kind of. It's just a different type of game that he plays, but it works. Like he's got a weird, like a different, like herky jerky style of play, and like it's different. I've never seen anything like it, but he's a real good player. He's real good playmaker. He didn't play much of the one last year. I saw with Jalen Tate, but I think that's his natural position. He plays the one, and he's real good at it.
You guys had good teams in South Dakota. I remember when you guys came in here, it looked pretty good. But Arkansas, coming off the Elite Eight, a top 10 finish, they're probably everybody's preseason polls, top 15, top 10. How much talent do you feel like this team has, and kind of what's it like being on a team that's getting so much preseason buzz?
Yeah, it's exciting. We like that. We like that pressure. I know that the guys coming back from last year, we've been talking about that rage that they have from not making it. None of them are satisfied with the Elite Eight appearance, and I could tell none of them are satisfied with that. They're trying to Final Four, win it all. So, it's just fun to be around guys like that. It's all the same mindset. That's trying to just work towards that common goal, and it's definitely the most talented team I've been a part of. So.
Coach was telling us, I guess your former coach was an assistant of his, and so they kind of helped with like terminology and things like that. Have you noticed that? I mean, has it been a little bit of an easier adjustment because of that aspect?
Yeah, no, I've noticed a lot of things that they have in common as far as like intensity, making sure everyone's going hard at all times, and the terminology, yeah, and it just, they don't like a lot of the same things. A lot of the same things my former head coach didn't like, Coach Musselman doesn't like, and they appreciate the same things as well. So that did help with the transition a lot.
Yeah, like I said, I think you had 13 or 14 here. You guys were like the top 3.2 team in the country.
Yeah.
So, but what do you remember about that experience? It's a pretty good crowd, as I remember. And did you ever imagine you'd be back here a couple of years later playing for their age group?
No, yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy how it worked out, but that was a fun experience. Playing here, that was one of the best crowds I've actually played in front of, and it was crazy. It was loud, and I never expected to be back, but I'm glad that I am. Glad it worked out that way.
And you're an older guy, you know how to practice, how to do the right things. You guys are down a few bodies right now. I know there's something to get everybody back here in the next few weeks, but what's the key to having quality practices when you're maybe down a few guys?
That's the key to that. It's just coming from the players. Coaches are going to do their job every time. It's on us to make sure that we come in and do what we're supposed to do. Especially with guys down like how we are, it's going to be on some of the leaders to come in and make sure that everyone's coming in with the right mindset, that not we're trying to get through practice, but we're trying to get something out of it. So I think that it's just going to come from us and just being accountable for each other.
Scotty?
So I'm curious if there's maybe a guy or two on the roster in particular who's caught your eye, and why are they doing so?
Yeah, I mean, everyone is unique in their own way. Everyone's got their own game, and they're masters in their own game. And like what I said with Devo, I just haven't seen anything really like it. Chris Likes as well is super quick. Like what he does with the ball is different. So, and Jay Will also he's able to do a lot of things that I didn't think coming in. Like I thought he was more of a traditional post, but he could move real well. He could pass it, he could shoot it. So I'm real excited to play with everyone.
Eric mentioned Chance Moore, he's the only freshman on the roster, so they don't really have anybody you can kind of commiserate with. I guess that understands what he's going through. As an older guy, do you take him under your ring, or do some of you guys going to say, hey man, it's going to get better?
Yeah.
Don't sweat. Or how do you guys deal with Chance, I guess, as a really freshman?
Yeah, just trying to encourage them. Everyone's going to lead in their own type of ways. Just trying not to put too much pressure on him or talk to him too much because, you know, we've all been there. As me as a freshman, I know what he's going through. Like, same thing happened to me at South Dakota. I was pulling out stools for the games my freshman year. So it's not like I can't relate with him. I relate with him. I try to talk him through it, but you know, it's going to be a learning curve for him. And we got a lot of older guys. So it's just going to be tough to we just got to keep bringing them along for sure.
Anything else for Stanley? Good? All right.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think so.